Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode on the Fashion Fables podcast. Today, I am welcoming Anthony, Chief Operating Officer of Angelina Paris. Anthony, thank you so much for being here today.
Hello, Olivia. Thank you for having me over. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to chat today. It's literally a dream considering I go to Angelina Paris in New York City, and it's just so crazy to have the opportunity to talk to you today.
Well, it's an honor to be interviewed by you. You know, we arrived recently here in the US and we're thrilled for this opportunity. Thank you again.
Of course. So let's get into the questions. Do you mind sharing a bit about yourself and your responsibilities at the Angelina Paris?
Yes, with pleasure. Well, I was one of the very few who had the chance and honor to literally move from Paris to New York to expand the brand here in the United States. It's our first tea room in the country, and so we are myself and the pastry chef also both moved to New York.
That's awesome.
So my job as a CEO, of course, my job as a CEO is to make sure that the process are well respected. The same process we Paris should be the same as the other one in New York. And also, as we open in the middle, we give a maximum of visibility to the brand.
Yes, I'm sure it's an honor to be in New York City because I feel like it's such a big hub and you can attract so many different types of people. And it's also nice to be able to have two different perspectives in being in Paris and then being in New York City. They're both, I'm sure, great places to be.
Yeah, totally. Even though there's some few differences,
Mm.
it's really exciting and motivating and fun to see our guest who knows Angelina back home, back in Paris, who are rediscovering the brand here in New York, and new guests who are discovering our world.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And also you have so many locations. So it's like if one person can't make the New York City location or even the Paris location, there's so many different places that they're able to experience, what it's like dining in the tea room, in the restaurant. So
Indeed, indeed, exactly. That's all Angelina is about. We try to be open to everyone. Angelina is open 7 days a week, every day of the year, whether it's Christmas, it's Easter, it's Thanksgiving. We open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And the particularity is that we serve an all-day dining menu, so you can enjoy an onion soup at 8 a.m. in the morning, or you can enjoy a brunch or a breakfast at 6 in the afternoon. Again, it's an all-day dining menu, and we also have a retail space where you can grab and go and enjoy our pastries in the park.
that is so nice. Oh my goodness. So, what makes all of Angelina's locations so unique? Do you mind just providing insight into the different locations? Do they all provide similar services? That French vibe? Maybe share a little bit about this.
Yes, of course. Well, Angelina is full of history. Whether you go to our Paris location, if you or Dubai or Saudi Arabia or Singapore, we want to make sure that you feel like you are during the Belle Epoque time, sitting next to Chanel or to Proust. And so it's really important for us to make sure that the chandelier you see, the fresco we have in the dining room, are more or less the same. I'm sure you know Angelina's story. They all started in the south of France, so we have a lot of different landscapes from Saint-Tropez, from Monaco, from Cannes. And when the Second World War started, the husband of Angelina unfortunately never came back from war. So Angelina took over the main dining room in Paris and changed the name to Angelina Paris.
Wow, I love how there's such a strong history. I feel like that's also why it's, I don't know, just so authentic and just so nice, and when I feel like you enter the space, you almost feel like you're transformed into that Paris vibe, which is so nice to feel like that even if you're in New York City, which you don't always get to feel like that, do you know what I mean? And I just think
Thank
it's
you.
super unique where it does attract, like, different types of visitors and also creates this, like, safe community where you feel like you can just relax and enjoy a coffee or hot chocolate, and it's kinda just, like, one of those things where it's so comfortable, you wanna just spend all day there kinda thing, so, um
Thank you. It goes straight to my heart because it's exactly what we want to hear. New York is a bit busy city. Everyone is in a rush, whether there's tourists or businessmen or neighbors. This is really what we want our guests to feel. We don't rush our guests. They can stay 30 minutes. They can stay an hour. They can stay 2 hours, and we're happy to have them enjoy our hot chocolate, obviously, our teas, and the whole menu in general.
Yeah, for example, when I went, like you said, nobody rushes you. I was with my friend and we got just like coffee and we were sitting down and I was like, oh my goodness, I looked at the time and 2 hours went by and I was like, oh, nobody said that we had to leave. And I guess the time just passed and we were just talking about it. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's so nice to not feel like you have to like sometimes you eat and then the waiters or waitresses come over and are like, "Okay, like, can I get you the bill?" or something like that, so it's, like, nice that it's, like, different.
Well, that was a let me tell you, it was a bit of a challenge to make sure our local team would understand the universe, the decor, the universe that we want to make sure our guests feel comfortable into and literally splurge.
Yes, definitely feel that way. So, can you share some details about your menu? What dining options you offer? What are some customer favorites? What would you recommend, being immersed into this culture for so long now?
Yes, of course, with pleasure. Thank you for asking. Well, Angelina, of course, is well known for its hot chocolate. We have been serving the same hot chocolate for the past 120 years. We're very proud of this heritage. It's this very rich hot chocolate batch with whole milk. We also have our signature pastry, which is the Mont Blanc. It's a gluten-free pastry with three different layers of dry meringue, whipped cream, and chestnut. And the magic of the three elements together makes it heaven. But we also have typical French signature, like I mentioned earlier, the onion soup, the croque monsieur, croque madame. We have well, and in this specific location in New York, we had to adapt as well. We have one burger, and it works really well. I'm very proud of the burger we serve. We also have a cheesecake, for example, that we don't have in any other location around the world. So it's I would say 90% of the general menu we have in Paris, and the rest is some locals specialty that you must have on the menu in New York.
Right, and that makes sense because I feel like there are, I don't know, a lot of hamburger places in New York City, so it might be nice to kinda make that incorporated into your, restaurant, but at the same time, it's very nice of you to do that considering I feel like it is a very consistent menu in all different locations, but I'm sure that makes people happy.
Yeah, it makes people happy, and I mean it's a staple of where we are, so we must have it on the menu. We have no problem with that.
I can't believe that I haven't tried the hot chocolate because, like, everyone talks about it too, and I'm like, "Oh, I got coffee," and they're like, "Why would you get coffee?" I was like, "I don't know, I just like coffee," but I definitely have to try that, and all those foods you were naming sound so good too.
We have a yeah, I'm happy that you mentioned our coffee because I'm very proud to say we are the only one in the country serving Café Richard, which is a staple French coffee that we brought here in the US. And I have to say it's quite popular. We have some great feedback on our coffee. But I have to say you must come back and try our hot chocolate for sure.
I know. I know, I do. I think I got, like, an iced latte or something. It was really good, so
Yeah, thank you. You have to try our iced tea. We have our signature Angelina iced tea, which is a black tea, oolong tea, and exotic fruit. It's very, very popular.
Oh, yeah? Okay, I'll definitely try that too. Now I'm just gonna need to come back.
With pleasure, anytime.
So, I believe Coco Chanel did visit Angelina among other well-established individuals. So, how would you say your brand was able to grow to, attract these visitors, these such prominent visitors that everybody knows their names?
Well, we don't cheat. Angelina has a very strong story, like you mentioned earlier. When you walk here at the tea room, you're in this sort of bubble or service going on. And so people sometimes they really, even though they are not in Paris, they want to feel this little pleasure and spend some time with us. Half of the team is French, so they have this very thick accent, and the one I have actually that serves you. And I think it's part of the act you enjoy it away in the middle of New York City. Also, I have to say our pastries are the classic French pastries you can find everywhere in France, which are it's the millefeuille, the chocolate éclair. You don't find those pastry everywhere.
Yes, and they also just look super fresh, and I think another part of Angelina that's really nice is that everything is in such, like, a nice display when you walk in, like, you can see everything, everything's in order. It just looks fresh and welcoming, like, you could see that it was just made kinda thing, like, it's not, like, old or been sitting there, so the whole glass is very elegant where you hold all of your pastries, which I don't know, it makes people want to be like, oh, what's that? Or they have the chance to kind of look at a nice clean casing of all the different assortment. So I think the way that you guys present your items and pastries also has an effect on just the people who come in too, because they're like, oh my goodness, like, what's this? I don't see this everywhere. So it's kind of just something unique and different. Um, and just elegance is very attractive and classy, and that also brings in a crowd of people too. So, I
You're
feel
right.
like there's a
You're
lot of
right.
factors. Yeah.
You're right. It's when you enter a boutique, you first eat with your eyes,
Yeah.
and then the rest follows. We're very proud to have a chef Noemi who's two in France in our lab. She's our pastry chef here in New York. She has a very, very early morning team that must have all the pastries ready by 8 a.m. And she has an afternoon team coming at noon and finishing the pastries for the afternoon. So we have two batch per day,
Oh,
and all those pastries, all the croissant and the pain au chocolat are baked all throughout the day. So that is part of the magic of the store. And the packaging, of course, our macaron box, our pastry box are really part of the pastries. We're very proud to have this the same pink bag since so many years.
yes, and pink is my favorite color, so that's also another thing that I love about Angelina. And
We're not
also
the only one.
yeah, I'm sure. I think a lot of people forget that it's sometimes the little things that matter, like those little details of the packaging, just being able to have fresh pastries 2 times a day. Like it's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, those little details like matter and can kind of just like separate and differentiate a great cafe from just a good one or average one kind of thing. Cause I feel like cafes, coffee shops are very popular today. Like people are almost looking for something other than a Starbucks or like a Dunkin' Donuts. And like the ones that succeed are the ones that put in that extra effort to, I don't know, have more detail or maybe a difference in their packaging or labeling, like just little things that I feel like you guys do very well, which makes a lot of sense for your success and just all that stuff.
Yes, you're right. You're right. And this is what we do all over, whether it's in Japan or Saudi Arabia or Paris or New York. We all have the same packaging. We all have the same level of so successful because you have the same standards all around the world. And it is difficult. It is very difficult because, of course, we tend to be lazy some days. We tend to be, but it's our job to keep serving magic every day to every single guest walking in the tea room, whether it's a famous model or actor or just a guest that heard through social media or about Angelina. We want to make sure that everyone has this part of magic when they enter the tea room.
Yeah, that's very true, and I think a good point just for, like, anybody listening that, like, life isn't perfect and things go wrong, but it's how you kind of proceed with those struggles and obstacles, and you just maintain that credibility, your authenticity, your brand, what you stand for, because, like, at the end of the day, you're there to serve people, make people happy, and you don't wanna let maybe your bad day affect a customer because that can say a lot whether or not they wanna come back and dine in, and not even with the restaurant business, but just in general, it's always better to, I don't know, kind of deal with things, like, on your own, but make sure that you're not portraying some type of negativity to others, because what you put out, I feel like really comes back.
Yes,
So
you're totally right, and this is called hospitality. And one of the biggest challenge we had arriving here in New York is to find the best colleagues, the best team members that could understand this sensibility, who would understand where they work, um, how to explain them the history of Angelina and the not only the steps of service but the excitement that a guest would have entering Angelina. You know, we have to be careful that it's not that a routine doesn't affect us too much. We have to show excitement when a guest asks us for the 20th time a day what is the Mont Blanc. We have to share with them our excitement and the magic and the hard work behind this one pastry, and same with the hot chocolate, and same with everything in general. And so it's my job, it's the job of the management team to make sure that we communicate this passion and this hard labor behind everything you see at the counter.
yes, and it's really important, but it's easier said than done too, but I think your legacy is so positive and there's such a great reputation behind Angelina that, like, you make it your best priority to continue with that because, you don't want to let people down or, important people, anywhere decide to come, celebrities, etc., you want them to have a good experience as well. So, it's super amazing how, I don't know, just successful and just unique Angelina is, and it's a cafe that stands out to me because Angelina is the type of cafe that I look for when I'm looking for places to go. Because first of all, I just love the way it's decorated, the interior. It's just elegant and reminds me of France, which I've never been to France. So I've only seen pictures, so it's like something that can immerse me into the experience without actually being there. And then the service also. So I think it's just a mix of all those things that kind of go hand in hand. But thank you for sharing all
You,
that.
of course, my pleasure.
So, what is the inspiration behind Angelina, its elegant interior, and maybe just the overall mission that you have for Angelina in general?
Well, Angelina was created in 1903, so we want to continue this for as long as possible. Again, we have a great history. We have signature dishes and so always that have been on the menu. And my job is to continue to continue this legacy, make sure we are better every day, and keep expanding. We opened 2 years ago Angelina here in New York, in the middle of the city around Bryant Park, We've seen a lot of great interest by expanding and doing some pop-up. We are right now at Saks Fifth Avenue, which is this historical building, and we have the honor to be there for the holiday season. We are offering hot chocolate in Hudson Yards. If you go on weekends, you'll see hot chocolate there. This past summer, we did a great partnership with Longchamp, for example, on Fifth Avenue, and we did a pop up there, and different other American brands as well. And this is what I find very fun and interesting. This visibility, doing partnership with different brands. I think is the future. The future. We're new here, but we have something to say. And for us, being at Saks or Bergdorf Goodman is magic.
Wow, I think that's super cool because like not a lot of I don't see a lot of like restaurants or cafes or eateries kind of think outside of the box to expand like, oh, pop-up shop. Like I feel like a lot of the times I see that more with like retail and stuff like that. So it's really cool that you guys came up with this idea. And it's funny you say Fifth Ave because one time when I was in New York City, I was like walking on Fifth Ave and I was like, oh, there's an Angelina like little truck here, like a little stand. And I was like, this is funny because I didn't think there was a location there, but it makes sense. It's probably the pop up and whatever. So that was awesome.
Yeah, indeed, and we've seen a lot of interest in going outside of our walls, whether it's a little princess celebrating her 10-year-old party and she wants Angelina there. We come with our little cart.
Oh,
Recently, we did a birthday party for a lady in Florida, and we flew with our pastries and hot chocolate, and those kinds of stories are something uh, amazing that we don't do in Paris, but we have the capacity to do here in New York.
that is so nice. And also the fact that you're located so close to Bryant Park, it's like if people don't want to dine in and it's a nice day, they can take their hot chocolate, their pastry, and go sit by Bryant Park and enjoy it there. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of providing people with options. Let's say you guys are super busy too, and you can't accommodate somebody to sit. Like it's like just there's so many little things that I'm learning now that I didn't even know about that are it's just so cool to hear.
Yeah, definitely. It's true what you're saying. It's fun to see people having a cup of hot chocolate in wintertime and enjoy the ice skating ring at
Yeah.
Bryant Park. I have to tell you, we are expanding and opening a second location on the Upper East Side by
Mm.
the end of this year, and we can't wait to see guests walking in Central Park with their pink Angelina cup of hot chocolate.
I did
That's
not
gonna be
know
very
that.
fun.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's a secret. It's a secret I'm telling you here.
Aw, that's so exciting and just another way for people to access it. Maybe they're closer to Central Park and they can't really get by the location you guys are in now, so it's like just another way to attract customers and grow your community.
Exactly. You summed it up the correct way.
So, what do you now look for in a candidate? Maybe interested in working for Cafe Angelina. I'm sure there's a lot of people interested. And what makes somebody competitive for this role?
It's a very good question. We are looking for literally passionate people, and this is to go back to what we were saying earlier in the conversation. We're looking for team members that have this hospitality in them. It's very easy for us to teach them how to make the right cappuccino, how to serve correctly, but it's very hard to teach hospitality to someone who doesn't have it.
Yeah,
So, when I go for an interview, uh, just by looking at the person and this person have a smile and have this excitement in them
yeah,
is almost, you know, um, and you can quickly see it. You feel it, and
yeah.
this is what I'm looking for. And then all the details follow. We want to make sure that well, we represent the French savoir vivre, so we want to make sure that the team members understand that. Coming with a fresh pressed shirt, coming with their hair done, light makeup, light nails. It, but it's hard to find a team member that will understand that and that will quickly learn what we show them, but will keep this inner excitement and inner hospitable savoir-être.
Right, exactly. And, I'm sure you are pretty, you want to make sure that the person you're hiring is going to fulfill the expectations. And so, you kind of have to go in more into depth with the interview process, maybe not just go based off of one answer somebody says, but more so dig deeper into like, are they going to be an asset to this brand? Are they going to be able to work hard and, adapt to changes? Or if a customer comes up to them and maybe has some type of attitude, like, are they gonna be still excited and maintain the type of reputation that you want them to, or are they going to give attitude back? Like, all those, like, little personality things that kind of you can't teach a person is probably something you look for, and it's not easy.
It is very difficult. I think our the hospitality industry and especially the restaurant industry
Mm,
is 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 very difficult in a way that if we are not up to standards right away, you can read it on the internet. You'll
mm,
have the Yelp review, you'll have the Google review, and it's you go to the dentist, you're not gonna write a Yelp review or a Google review, but when you're going to a restaurant, you'll probably do because your expectations are high, and you want to make sure that we're up to par.
ex
And this is my job as a manager and the management team to make sure that we're here to motivate the team. And if a guest gives attitude or it gives us a hard time, it is our job to jump and help the team members and make sure that this person leaves happy with a smile and a good memory of their time at Angelina Paris. But this is also what makes the job exciting. If you're afraid of being in front of the guest, then don't choose the hospitality
Yeah.
industry. Um, it makes the job fun sometimes. It makes the job more challenging a lot of time. But in general, we're lucky to have the product on our side, and people when you give them a hot chocolate or a nice lemon cake or madeleine, it's easier to make them happy.
Right. And so when you are looking to hire people, do they have to have some type of like baking or cooking background, or are they not the ones doing that? It's more so like serving and like cleaning up and all that.
Well, I'm lucky enough to have around me some strong management team members, whether it's the chef or the sous chef. We have a strong pastry chef, Noemi, I mentioned earlier, or the service team members. They keep training. It's an ongoing training with our team members. So I don't particularly need them with a strong experience because we train them to our standards. We just need motivation and people that like to try pastries, of course. If you don't like pastries, it's hard to sell them.
Right. Cause like if somebody comes up and is like, oh, what does this taste like? Or what do you think of it? It's kind of up to the employee to be able to help with that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And we expect our team members to be real, to be true, not to lie. If they don't like, if they have a preference, share it with the guest,
Yeah.
and start this conversation with the guest. Do you like caramel? Do you like chocolate? Do you like fruits? Do you have allergies? Our bench is built in a way that we can most of the time satisfy everyone.
Right. Cause there are so many options. But
Indeed.
yeah, but it's definitely helpful for the team member to know and help the guest so that they're happy with their choice and it's worthwhile for them.
Yeah, it's our job. It's part of the job to read the guest and listen to what they have to say and interpret sometime what they have to say. And
Yeah.
if a guest doesn't like it, we want to make sure that they leave happy, and we give them another pastry to try. This
Yes.
is the fun part.
Very nice. So, I have a lot of coffee lover listeners on this podcast. So, for the coffee lovers, what do you think is the best coffee and maybe baked good combination like coffee and croissant or whatever at Angelina?
It's a good question. I mentioned earlier during the interview that we were working with Café Richard. I have to say it was a difficult choice because especially American and New Yorkers, are very loyal to their coffee in the morning or throughout the day. So it was hard to pick a partner in terms of coffee. And we finally agreed on working with Café Richard. Um, their coffee is very popular among our guests. It makes really well with an oat milk latte or a cappuccino. We have some great feedback. As a matter of fact, we're going to start selling the bags, the coffee bags, starting next month at Angelina.
Wow.
And of course, the best pairing, if you want to be totally French, is like you said, the croissant and the café. That's what we all have in France in the morning.
Yeah.
If you come later in the afternoon, you must try the Mont Blanc with the coffee. It's a great mix. The chestnut, the mix of texture between the dry meringue, whipped cream, chestnut, and coffee is
Mm,
a blast. Next month we always have every month a seasonal Mont Blanc. Next month we have coffee flavored Mont Blanc, and that's going to be a killer.
that's awesome. Oh my God. Yeah. So, would you recommend like an iced latte or do you prefer like the hot with the croissant or
My favorite drink right now, it's an iced mocha.
mm,
It's a mix of our signature hot chocolate with a shot of espresso in it. All that frappe on ice, shaked on ice. It's super super good and very popular.
wow.
We also have another very popular drink, but that's for an audience above 21 years old. It's our chocolate martini. So we
Mhm,
shake our signature hot chocolate with vodka,
mm,
and wow, super super good. You must try that.
wow. That's amazing to hear, and yeah, honestly, I feel like also with coffee, it's up to the person's preference because like, some people don't like mocha, like coffee with chocolate, but some people love it, but some people just opt for the traditional, like, oat latte, so it's nice that the cafe has so many different options that if you don't like one thing, you go to the another thing. If you don't like a croissant, which it's hard not to like, but there's other things too. So like
Yes, indeed, we have. Angelina had to adapt a little bit. So if you don't drink dairy, then we have oat milk, we have almond milk. If you don't drink whole milk, we also offer our chocolate in powder. So this way you can mix your chocolate powder with any milk you wish, or even with water. So we had to offer this wide selection. I think we are one of the only Angelina around the world offering those many options.
wow.
Our coffee program is very strong, and we're very proud of it.
So do you offer I just have to ask, do you offer an iced chocolate? Like since there's hot chocolate, like I know some people do that, like iced.
Yeah, we do our iced hot chocolate, and we
Okay.
also do our iced hot chocolate Mont Blanc, which is our chocolate frappe, so on ice, with
Yeah.
some whipped cream and some chestnut syrup and dry
Oh,
meringue that we crush on top of your drinks.
oh my
Oh,
God.
it's
That
heaven.
sounds so good. That sounds so good. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
this is called the hot chocolate, the Mont Blanc iced hot chocolate killer.
And do you offer just one size for your drinks, or is there, like, small, medium, large?
Yeah, we have the espresso shots, and we have small, medium, and large cups to go. Otherwise, we at the tea room you drink in our Angelina porcelain. Those are very cute porcelain. On the side, you have a little um, little saucer with some whipped cream, and then the chocolate saucer on the side.
Oh,
The same way we served the chocolate to Coco Chanel 100 years ago.
oh my goodness. Is that what she got? The chocolate?
Yeah, she was a big fan of the hot chocolate. As a matter of fact, people are lining up in Paris to sit at the exact table where Madame Chanel was at, and enjoying the Mont Blanc and hot chocolate that we've been serving for so many years.
Oh my goodness. That's so special that you even, like, said that and know that. That's so cool.
You're right. You're right. It's really history, and we're very proud 120 years later to serve it here in New York.
I see a lot of cool pictures on, like, Instagram and stuff of your afternoon tea, so you also offer that, correct?
Yes, indeed. Our afternoon tea is served all day long as well. It's very popular in the afternoon, obviously. It comes with a choice of a hot beverage. So we have a selection of 9 different tea. We are a tea room after all. So whether you like green tea or black tea, we have a chestnut flavored tea. We have a chocolate flavored tea. We also
Wow.
have different infusions, and we also offered so a hot beverage, a juice, a fresh pressed juice of grapefruit or orange, and then we have 3 mini sandwich. We have a mini sandwich that comes as an avocado toast. We have another salmon sandwich, the very classic one, and another mini croque monsieur, which is basically a ham and cheese
Yeah.
toasted. We also serve it with, of course, macaron. We are very proud of our macaroons. We have 9 different flavors of macaron, from vanilla, chocolate, raspberry, caramel, pistachio. And we also serve the afternoon tea with 3 mini madeleines,
Wow.
the classic French madeleine, served warm. It's really nice.
I need to come for that because I love afternoon tea, like, first of all, just taking pictures is so pretty, but, like, aside from that, I love just being able to pick what I want, and it's, like, not too filling, but it's also, like, just enough, and, like, pairing, like, sweet or savory with the tea, it just tastes so good, and I did not know that there was, like, chocolate flavored tea, I had no clue, so I, like, need to try.
Yeah, it's called number 226, chocolate flavored tea. 226 is the number of the building we are at in Paris. We're very happy. We just got a big article, a big newspaper mentioning the 10 best afternoon tea in New York, and Angelina was among the list. So we're very proud of that.
Oh, congratulations, that's amazing. I don't
Thank
um,
you.
doubt it, it's very expected.
Thank you.
So, now for you, Anthony, what has been your favorite or even most memorable part of your position, and do you plan on visiting other Angelina cafes outside of New York City, or now that you are in New York City, you're planning to stay, or just anything about that?
Oh yes, I'm planning to stay. That's for sure. One of the good memory I have, well, it's always a good memory when you see the line down the block and you see the hot dog stand coming in the middle of the line trying to sell their hot dog because guests are in the cold waiting for a table.
Oh,
That's always a good experience. Another good memory is to have this very well known actress coming in the dining room. Of course, I didn't really recognize her, served her, and become very friendly until a table asked to take a picture with this actress and their
oh,
hot chocolate. Um, it's always nice, to see all those American actors in the dining room. In terms of expansion plans, we're looking at different options. My job is to establish the brand here in New York first for the next year or two, and then we would love to go on the West Coast. We have great interest in Los Angeles, in Las Vegas as well, in Texas, surprisingly, We also ship a lot of our gourmet selection, whether it's a hot chocolate bottle or tins of caramel. We have a selection of around 20 different products that we can ship to your house. And we've seen a lot of interest in shipping it to Texas. I would love to go to Chicago as well. It's cold up there, and I'm sure our hot chocolate will complement well the weather.
Yeah. Oh my god, that is true. That's so
We'll see, step by step.
I feel like yeah, definitely for sure. Like it's most important to obviously it's really nice to have a lot of locations, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure that all the locations are providing that authentic, cafe experience that you guys strive for. So I feel like it's better to establish what you already have, what you're building on, rather than rush into something that might not be as good of an experience just to say you're in more locations. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like you guys already have so many locations that it'll come with time and to just make the most of what you have right now. It's literally like so amazing that this cafe has grown so much and that you do have this, these ideas of expanding and it's inspiring for not
You're
only
totally right.
yeah,
You're totally right, Olivia. It takes us 2 years to train a baker. So we are by November 16th next week. It will be our second year here in the country, and we just started training a pastry chef for the opening on the West Coast. And you're right, we're doing pastries. It's difficult. You have to master all the different recipes, make sure you know the equipment you work with. So you cannot open a pastry like that from one day to another.
yeah.
There's a lot of savoir-faire behind, and this takes time. So definitely, we are trying to look for the best team members to help us grow and develop. But we are definitely taking our time because it's a difficult job. Pastry chef, you have to wake up at 3, 4 in the morning, finish at noon, everything. You work on Christmas Day, on Easter Day, on all the different holidays throughout the year. It's not easy. It's not Monday to Friday from 9 to 5.
Right.
And as soon as we find someone who's invested, we invest in them and make sure that they stay on the team. We're very fortunate to have the same team since 2 years in New York. It's something that you rarely see. Many guests tell me, "Oh, we were there last year, and Matthew was our server. We remember him. It's so nice to see him after all this time." And I want to make sure that our team stays and make sure they remain happy.
That's also a reflection of, the staff and that people wanna stay. That means it's a nice work environment, as well as just nice environment to, like, work in, obviously. It's a beautiful, restaurant, tea room. There's just so many assets to it that I think it's super important, and you kinda grow connections and stuff when you do have the similar staff. Like you said, people come up to you remembering a certain member of the team. And it's also probably special for you to hear about all that stuff. But it's also congratulations on your 2-year opening. That's
Thank you,
cool.
Olivia.
I'm sure there'll be something on social media about it.
Definitely, we're trying to prepare some few surprises.
I'm sure. I'm so excited. Also,
Thank you. You can follow us at Angelina Paris USA on our Instagram. You'll see all the different surprises coming up.
yes, I already do follow them. However, are you in charge of the social media, or do you have other hired staff that helps to do that? Because I know that's also another big aspect of your marketing and just gaining that type of, engagement and following.
Yes, well, I have to tell you the truth. We were doing this internally, and we underestimated the power of social media. As a matter of fact, our architect came back a few months ago and tweaked the lights at the restaurant, because on TikTok, on social media, we needed more of it, more clarity. and very quickly, this is our second year, and we already have almost 30,000 followers. And those are people that really can come and follow us. We are doing big on TikTok. This is something I didn't know, even though I'm still young or consider myself young. I didn't know about TikTok, and on weekends we see those groups of young teenage girls coming and visiting Angelina Paris, whether for macaron or a cup of hot chocolate, and making sure that they post something on TikTok in front of the mirror, in front of the macaron tower we have. That's something big that we again underestimated, and so since then we have a community manager who understand the brands and who make sure to post on a daily basis all the new pastries or new dish that we have, but also answer back to all the followers inquiring about anything it could be.
Yes, I know. I feel like it's crazy how big of a community social media is, and like you don't realize it until you're like, oh my goodness, like this is growing. We need to make sure that this is on target and it's also another positive representation of the brand. So I'm sure it's a lot, but also your presence is really amazing and it truly does, just incorporate everything that Angeline is, if it's people or whoever's posting about a dish or just the interior of it or the guests, everything just it looks beautiful, so good job.
Thank you, thank you. I'll share your compliments with our social media manager with
Oh,
pleasure.
yeah. Okay, great. And then finally, Anthony, how can someone make a reservation at Angelina? What are ways to stay connected and people just learn more about your whole brand?
So we don't take reservation. It's an all-day dining menu offered from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can come at your convenience, whether you're a group of two or a group of 10. If you are 10 or above, we recommend to give us a call, and we'll try to facilitate the table, of course. But like we said earlier, you can come and enjoy your time at the tea room. When the tea room is busy, we have this grab and go option. You can come anytime. If you want more information, you can look at our website. We have a website called Angelina Paris, and you have access to our menu in the dining room, the grab and go menu as well. You have all the different information pop-ups we have around the city. You also have the possibility to organize events. We close at 8 p.m. every day, so we have the possibility to organize events at night if needed, and, and it's more and more popular. We also launched since June the catering department, so Angelina can go to your office or can go to your place and organize your bridal shower, your birthday party, and we've seen a great interest there.
Wow, thank you so much for all this information. It was so lovely chatting with you, and it just makes me so excited to share this with my listeners and be able to go back to Angelina so soon. Thank you so much, Anthony.
Thank you, Olivia. Thank you to you, and thank you to all your listeners. À bientôt. Hopefully, we see you soon at New York.
Yes, definitely.